Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Our top story this evening, the worst flu season in recent years hits the Suncoast. The number of residents reporting flu-like symptoms is on the rise every week.
Sarasota County already seeing 4 influenza outbreaks since the start of flu season, and it's likely to get worse before it gets better. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick gives us a look at how doctors are working to tackle that outbreak.
At Sarasota Family Medical's walk-in clinic, there wasn't a place to park Friday afternoon. The waiting room packed with residents waiting to see a doctor, suffering from flu-like symptoms.
We've seen probably 3 cases today alone, and that's pretty much what we've been averaging for the past 2-3 weeks.
Karen Rushing had the flu shot and still got it. The flu spreading like wildfire in her office at the Sarasota County Courthouse.
In a place like this, it's like a stable. Everyone who has children started with it, and then eventually everyone gets it.
The departments of health in both Sarasota and Manatee counties don't have firm numbers to report on exactly how many flu cases the Suncoast is seeing.
So we're seeing a hallmark of a bad flu season. It's difficult to say like how many people have it because it's not a reportable disease, so physicians don't necessarily call us every time they see one.
The elderly and children, the most vulnerable. Sarasota County School District seeing a slight decrease in attendance from last year at this time to this year. But school officials say that doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the flu. In Manatee County, attendance numbers have held strong at 94% since November.
If you catch it soon enough, within a 72-hour window of the onset of symptoms, we can do Tamiflu, which is an antiviral medicine, and that just kind of stops the spread of the flu virus.
The flu is very contagious. Doctors are still recommending the flu shot, even though you can still get the flu.
I will say that this year it's not as accurate as it has been in past years, but it's still better than not.
So you may get it, get the flu shot, still get the flu, but you'll have a less severe form of the illness.
And of course, to avoid catching the flu, wash your hands as much as possible and keep your hands away from your face. If your children are sick, keep them home from school. And if you're sick, don't go to work to avoid spreading the flu.
Excuse me. Sarasota and Manatee County's peak flu season is typically in mid-February, and doctors expect that to be the case again this year. So for the next few weeks, expect things to get worse before they get better.
After working for more than a year to get state permission for Venice Regional Bayfront Health to build a new hospital, the wait is far from over. While the hospital should know within the next few weeks whether its certificate of need has withstood legal challenges by competing facilities, it still needs approval from Sarasota County to build southeast of the Jacaranda roundabout. That location is already facing backlash from nearby communities. Their biggest concerns: traffic the hospital will bring, helicopter noise from a proposed trauma center, and biohazardous waste. The county is expected to hold a public hearing on the location, but none have been scheduled yet.
As we learned several months ago when Hurricane Irma hit, it is never too early to begin preparing. That's why whether you're still rebuilding or strengthening your home for the next hurricane season, FEMA specialists will be on hand to help. Beginning next Monday through January 31st, advisors will be at a Manatee County Home Depot from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Saturday. The Home Depot is on Cortez Road West in Bradenton. Some of the things that they can help with include rebuilding flooded homes, elevating utilities, and flood insurance, while most of the information is geared toward do-it-yourself work and general contractors.
All right, no talk of hurricanes, but if you do have to do some work on your house, this is the kind of weather you want to do.
Right,
Nice
exactly. The weekend looks great.
Let's get a check now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan on more on the warm-up. Bob?
Well, the VanWays webcam showing some high-level clouds around earlier today. Actually, they helped us stay a little warmer than last night. We talked about that at 11 o'clock last night, that those clouds could indeed act as a little insulation and provide us with a little bit warmer temperatures than projected. And indeed, that happened this morning, although we did still get down into the upper 30s across the area. Wind chills were around freezing to start things off near the coast. 63 degrees right now, and we have sunshine. The dew point temperature much warmer, 44 degrees, but still we'll have a cool night tonight, but nothing like we've seen over the past couple. Winds out of the west-northwest at 7. And as far as current temperatures go, up and down the coast into the low 60s to mid 60s. 60 now in Jacksonville, 64 in Orlando, 60 degrees as well in Tallahassee, 55 in Pensacola. The winds will be rather light out of the northeast for the most part, north-northeast, but that air has been modified now. That air mass that has brought us that cold weather. I mentioned warmer weather, though, to move in over the weekend, and this high-pressure ridge is so close to us that we're not going to see much of a wind overnight. They could see some patchy fog. The upper-level winds are traveling southwest to the northeast, while the lower flow coming in out of the northeast right now, and this high pressure will play a big role in our weekend weather. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. A driver is shot at a Sarasota intersection early this morning. It happened around 6 a.m. at the intersection of 17th Street and Lockwood Ridge Road. Take a look at this surveillance footage released this afternoon from the sheriff's office. Detectives are now searching for a sedan shown in that video. Apparently a beige-looking sedan. The driver that was shot was taken to the hospital for treatment. Those who live near that intersection, though, are frightened by what happened.
Because I live like right down the road, so I'm glad I'm moving. But yeah, it's very, very scary.
Investigators say this is an isolated incident. There's no word on the victim's condition or a motive for the shooting. Sheriff's investigators are still searching for a suspect and anyone with information that can help. Call Sarasota County Crime Stoppers at 366-TIPS.
Police in Florida have arrested a woman accused of involving a 6-year-old boy in a burglary scheme. She allegedly drove the child up to a house where a package had been dropped off so that he could steal it off the front porch. The incident was all caught on surveillance video, and police say that helped them find 20-year-old Santana Lindsay. Clay Leopard has more.
We have shown you porch pirate after porch pirate over the years, but this one in Deltona might be one of the youngest. You can see this car with tinted windows pulling up to a home on Tamerlane Street in Deltona yesterday. A child gets out of the back seat and snatches this Amazon package. Well, presumably an adult up front waits in the driveway.
It was frustrating and aggravating, especially when I saw it was a little kid that they had come out of the car to go grab the package.
This man doesn't want his face shown for fear of retribution, but he was supposed to get a $30 battery for his garage door opener from Amazon.
I heard the doorbell ring. I was eating lunch, so I figured I'd wait and go get it afterwards. A couple hours later, I came out to get it, and the package was gone.
He's showing us this surveillance video to help get the word out there, hoping deputies can find the person driving this car.
First, I work hard for my money, and then they come and steal it, and then I see that they're teaching their kid to steal. I just think that's terrible.
Volusia County deputies are asking everyone to pick up packages the second they arrive, or have them delivered to a nearby locker or hidden out of view of potential thieves.
I know I saw the car drive down the street, and I saw him drive slowly down, looking into the houses. He stopped in front of the house, so I know he saw the package. Then they drove around the block, came back, and then he had the kid go out and get it. So I know that they were doing this probably all day, so I'm sure I wasn't the only one that got stolen from.
The 20-year-old driver is facing charges including child neglect and principal to burglary. Police say the boy in that video is a child that the woman routinely cares for, but there are no details about their relationship. The package was returned to its owner.
After playing the key role in reducing and revamping Florida's economic development program last year, House Speaker Richard Corcoran says he has no interest in developing a state incentive plan to bring Amazon's new headquarters to South Florida. Miami is one of the 20 finalists for the giant online retailer's second headquarters. Corcoran is doubtful that Florida will win, citing the area's transportation challenges would ultimately eliminate Miami.
If you have a low crime, low taxes, low regulation, a good infrastructure, and you have more than anything a great educational system, we will not have a single problem luring all the businesses and all the people in this country here.
The addition of the headquarters is expected to generate around $5 billion in spending and lead to 50,000 jobs wherever it ends up.
Yeah.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, after years of being held captive, how a California community is showing support for 13 siblings.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus a bold anti-smoking campaign from the FDA. A look at how, with the help of big tobacco companies, cigarettes may soon become less addictive.
Everybody can make something, because I think everyone has a spark of creativity, and the reason that I have to keep making is because I don't think my life would be as fulfilling without it. If you make things yourself, that means you're not cowering in fear. You're out there taking chances. That, I think, is my way of saying I love you to the world. All right, now I want to hear why you make.
Share your own Why I Make story today. Visit whyimake.org. There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
My name is Stephen Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in an accident, whether or not it's your fault, your insurance company might be responsible for some of your expenses. So give us a call. We've got your back.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad, and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I heard about the Dotole Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotole Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was. I can tell you that you will not find a finer, more professional team of clinicians anywhere in the world.
My goal every day when I come into work at ABC7 is to tell your stories, give you that major local news and those details that you really care about. I'm Jacqueline Matter, and I'm here for you.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
A slow road to recovery for 13 children rescued from a house of horrors. ABC's Marcy Gonzalez gives us a look at some of the community's gestures of love amid the emotional trauma.
From above, a look at that Southern California house of horrors. For years, its walls hiding the torture authorities say was inflicted on 13 children by their parents.
We were in shock. We were astounded. None of us knew anything.
Neighbors leaving toys and balloons, gestures of love for the siblings ages 2 to 29, now being treated for what officials say is severe emotional trauma and malnutrition that severely stunted their growth.
I feel like they need this and more and all the love that they can get.
The parents, David and Louise Turpin, pleaded not guilty Thursday to a combined 75 counts of torture, abuse, and imprisonment, accused of only letting their children shower once a year, chaining them to their beds sometimes for months at a time, beating and starving them. The district attorney says the siblings had no toys, but were allowed to keep journals. Investigators now reading through the hundreds that were found.
My guess is that that's going to be powerful evidence about what was happening from the perspective of the victims, what was happening in that house.
Doctors treating the siblings now acting as their protective guardians.
We've limited the type of physicians that go in to see them. We've used people that we knew that they could develop a bond with and trust. And we feel that we've done the best for them while they're here.
And a long road ahead for them, as doctors say some of the children also suffered neurological damage from the years of starvation. The parents are now being held on $14 million bail each. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Well, now that the weather is warming up again, Venice City officials have reopened the Children's Fountain downtown. Earlier this week, the city closed the fountain in Centennial Park because of the cold and windy weather. During the winter months, that fountain operates from 10 a.m. until 5 p.m. And a boil water advisory for Venice has been rescinded. City officials had been warning people to boil their water after a water main break in a small area off of 41, but that advisory was lifted this morning. And Bob is back in Things are warming up.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know, thankfully.
And advisories have been lifted for weather too,
Good,
so not just
good.
boil water advisory. Everything's been lifted, and it looks like temperatures are going to be lifting up throughout the day again tomorrow. Tower cam showing some high-level cirrus clouds around. There's only a few watches and warnings now over the state, some over the northeast, but here it is. Beautiful clear skies for the most part. We had a lot of clouds around earlier today, but those clouds are starting to break up and move on. They're the high variety of clouds, and it looks like we should see another gorgeous sunset tonight. Well, here's a look at what's happening as far as our satellite imagery goes. You can see some of those high clouds ripping across the Gulf of Mexico right now, associated with the subtropical branch of the jet stream. A little disturbance well to the west. This is a little shortwave kicker that's bringing some rainfall into East Texas and spreading off toward Louisiana. Should not be a factor for us over the weekend, as we have a high pressure at the surface, and that high pressure will pretty much drift right over the top of us on Saturday, eventually warming us back up to where we belong, into the low 70s inland, right around 70 degrees near the coast. That east to northeasterly wind flow and component staying with us. So the hourly forecast overnight, no 30s to talk about, but we'll still be in the 40s. Our average low temperature this time of year, right around 52 degrees. So we'll be slightly below that, generally into the mid 40s around 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. Actually, it'll start to warm up a little bit as we approach sunset tomorrow. And we'll see a mixture of sun and clouds. A little bit more of those high clouds will be around again, so don't expect a total sunny day on Saturday. We will see some sunshine break through the clouds occasionally, and then we'll see again a better day on Sunday in terms of warmer temperatures and a little bit more sunshine. So not as cold tonight. Warmer weekend ahead, and another cold front arrives Tuesday, but the news on it, it's not nearly as strong. It'll be bringing us back down to more seasonal temperatures as opposed to well below that. We were about 20 degrees below average in some of the temperatures over the past 48 hours. Temperatures tonight, upper 40s by 11 o'clock tonight, so it should be a pleasant evening, albeit a bit on the cool side, a little chilly weather for this evening. And the temperature forecast for Saturday, here's 4 a.m. You'll notice we're right at 47 here, and in the 30s in places like Gainesville, Tallahassee, and Jacksonville. We actually start to warm up a little bit as we move through time into the right around sunrise. We top out near 70 degrees and maybe a couple degrees warmer, as I mentioned, east of I-75. 63 right now, it's nice, and the dew point temperature is at 44. Winds out of the west-northwest at 7, and the pressure 30-22. That's still high, but falling slightly as this high pressure is weakening somewhat, but it's getting closer to us. Jacksonville, 60 right now. 64 in Orlando, wishful thinking, 80 degrees, 68 degrees now in Miami, and temperatures in the coast, 59 degrees now in Cortez, in the low 60s all the way down to Inglewood, 59 the Gulf water temperature, and Arcadia at 65, 67, and now reporting to Mayaca City. Well, the futurecast is showing that little disturbance not doing much. You see it kind of weakening as it pushes off to the east, and it brings us some cloudiness, as I mentioned, on Saturday. By Sunday, things start to break up, and we'll see a little bit more sunshine. The storm track shifting out west right now, and you'll see that in the forecast as far as temperature goes. 41 for high tomorrow, not bad, in Chicago and Cleveland and Toronto, all in the 40s there. Denver at 48 degrees, but things are starting to change, and these long-range forecast models showing that colder air that's slowly sinking southward into the central Rockies and northern Rockies, and we start to warm up here. Although there's a little dive here in the northern plain states with that Arctic air beginning January 28th, but I don't think it's going to make it all the way down here. And it looks like boaters, things are looking much better for boating over the weekend. We'll have northeast winds to north winds at 10 knots on Saturday. Seas running right around 2 feet with a light chop on the bays and inland waters. The tides, and again, coming up just after 7:30 tonight for the low tide. Mild conditions tonight, cloudy skies, 70 for tomorrow, I should say, a high temperature of 70 degrees. And then we'll have sunshine on Sunday, 75. A slight chance for a shower comes on Tuesday as a weak frontal system moves in. You'll notice temperatures slide just a little bit down into the low 70s by Wednesday and Thursday. More on your weather coming up a little bit later. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Let's get to first alert traffic. We're seeing some slowdowns in the northbound lanes of I-75 right now. It starts right around Fruitville, and then as you head north, it goes all the way past State Road 64 into Manatee County and up in right near Ellington, and then it starts to clear up. But slow going if you're heading north on the interstate tonight. Jacqueline?
Thank you, Scott. In health news tonight, imagine if cigarettes were not addictive and only a small group of Americans smoked. As John Moan reports, that's the goal of a bold anti-smoking plan from the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, potentially with help from big tobacco companies.
They say that they see a future where smokers are going to transition away from combustible products onto these new innovations, new products that deliver nicotine through non-combustible routes that don't have all the morbidity and mortality associated with setting tobacco on fire. I think what our policy is doing is we're accelerating that conversion.
The FDA proposal is twofold: drastically cut nicotine levels in cigarettes, and for smokers who can't or won't quit, provide so-called reduced risk products. While nicotine is highly addictive, it's the burning tar and other byproducts inhaled through smoking that cause cancer, heart disease, and bronchitis. But anti-smoking activists say tobacco companies have been making claims about safer cigarettes since the 1950s, all subsequently proven false. They say the FDA plan creates a pathway to sell a new generation of potentially lucrative, government-approved products to millions, allowing the industry to survive, even thrive for decades.
In every generation, the tobacco industry has produced a new set of products which they claim were less harmful. Until now, the major impact of the introduction and marketing of those products was to keep people smoking.
Anti-smoking groups say the FDA has already fallen short on e-cigarettes, now a $4 billion business. The agency has delayed some key regulations for those products until 2022. But later this month, Philip Morris International and Altria will try and convince the federal agency that its heated tobacco product, IQOS, is less harmful than cigarettes. While the adult smoking rate has fallen, smoking remains the nation's leading preventable cause of death and illness, responsible for 1 in 5 U.S. deaths.
Eating laundry detergent on camera. Yes, it's an actual thing among many young people right now, and YouTube wants it to stop. It's called the Tide Pod Challenge, and people eat the detergent packets on camera and then upload the video to social media platforms. YouTube is now removing any video that shows people biting into the pods. The company says its community guidelines prohibit content intended to encourage dangerous activities. Facebook also removing posts from its platforms, including Instagram. Coming up, a driver's quick thinking saves a bus full of people from a landslide. And an explosion and vehicle fire shuts down a Utah highway. More on those stories coming up next.
Motor Trend said the new Alfa Romeo Giulia is hands down the best sports sedan you can buy today. And named it the 2018 Motor Trend Car of the Year. Rediscover your passion for driving at Sunset Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
The classic film Singing in the Rain is coming to the Players Center in a live stage show opening January 17th. All the dances and all the songs you've come to know and love, all a part of our Wild Broadway series. Get your tickets now for this limited run by calling the Players at 365-2494 or visit us online at theplayers.org. You too can be singing in the rain.
It doesn't take a scientist to cure hunger or a fancy economist to create safe housing. It takes imagination, creativity, sweat equity. And I think a kid's going to school hungry. Hunger, homelessness. In this land of plenty, seriously? Come on, we could fix this. Help out, or don't. The choice is yours.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is Kelley Blue Book's 2017 most trusted brand, best overall brand, and lowest 5-year cost to own. And Subaru Forester is an IIHS top safety pick for 12 years running. Now lease the most award-winning small SUV, a new Subaru Forester, for just $219 a month. Or get 0% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
ABC 7, your official Florida lottery station for the Suncoast.
when evaluating the Alfa Romeo Stelvio. Car and Driver magazine said every crossover should be this good to drive. We agree. Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
A bus full of passengers narrowly avoids disaster thanks to a driver's keen eyesight and quick thinking.
And as Jeremy Roth reports, it was all caught on camera. Take a look.
A driver's quick thinking in China saved 15 people on board a minibus from a sudden landslide. It happened in the Sichuan province on December 3rd. The driver hit the brakes after noticing some fallen rocks up ahead. Seconds later, huge boulders came crashing down onto the road where the bus likely would have been. No one on the bus suffered any injuries. The driver, a 20-year veteran, was lauded as a hero for his quick actions. He later received a reward from the bus company. Speaking of vehicular mayhem, a semi-tanker carrying thousands of gallons of fuel caught fire on a Utah highway. The fire spread to several other vehicles and caused an explosion. The driver of the semi-tanker was able to get out safely, and according to the Utah Highway Patrol, no one was injured in the blaze. It happened on Interstate 15 in Midvale, closing all lanes in both directions for several hours. Officials say the explosion may have started with a brake fire on the truck. For Take a Look at This, I'm Jeremy Roth.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, Florida law enforcement reached an agreement with the federal government on immigration, what that enforcement involves.
Plus, Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission taking action after a python was found on Siesta Key.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
This is an important medical announcement. Bard IVC filters have been linked to punctured veins and problems with migration. Anyone who's received a Bard IVC filter must receive medical monitoring and may be entitled to substantial compensation. If you have the Bard Recovery G2 or G2 Express filter, you are in a class of patients who should be compensated for some expenses. Call now for a free assessment of your case and potential money damages. This call is confidential. There's no cost and you may be eligible. Juries have awarded millions of dollars to people who should have been warned about the risks of the Bard IVC filters. Call the IVC Filter Hotline if you or a loved one has received an IVC filter and experienced a vein puncture or required medical monitoring. You must call now.
Call 800-329-3089. 800-329-3089.
Florida Studio Theater presents the 8-time Tony Award winner Once, held over by popular demand. Captivating and breathtaking, Once is an unforgettable story about going for your dreams and the power of music to connect us all. Critics are calling Once engaging and heartwarming, outstanding, and a flawless production. Audiences are calling it phenomenal and better than Broadway. Once must close January 19th. Tickets can be purchased by calling 941-366-9000 or by visiting FloridaStudioTheater.org.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Winter White event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.